Get this meeting started. This is the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Arizona, to be held February 2nd, 2021 at 6 p.m. And we're back in the clubhouse now. And how much longer will we be here?
Mr. Mayor, and until you tell us to move back to the other building.
Oh, great.
So this is really about 6 feet of separation and COVID precautions. But you can stay here. This is your building, city's building, the public's building. You stay here as long as you want. We're not renting it out for events right now, so it's available.
All right, good deal. Thank you. I believe we have our deputy clerk taking roll today, or Marianne Jimenez is virtually with us. So if you could please take the roll, Ms. Jimenez.
Councilmember Henry?
Here.
Councilmember Currett?
Here.
Councilmember Nairn?
Here.
Councilmember Wilden is absent. Councilmember Matthews?
Here.
Vice Mayor House?
Here.
Mayor Linsky?
Here, thank you. All right, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, next we have a brief summary of current events by the mayor, city council, and/or city manager. The public body does not propose, discuss, deliberate, or take legal action on any matter brought up during the summary unless the specific matter is properly noticed for legal action. Do we have any council members with anything to report? Yes, please, Vice Mayor.
I attended the steering committee for MetForce organization. One of the problems that we're having is dealing with fake fentanyl and fentanyl overdoses throughout Yavapai County. We've had 2 14-year-olds die within the last year, 50 deaths in total in the county, and many of those involving teens. And they wanted to make sure that everyone was aware that Nooxalin is available at every pharmacy, and anyone, regardless of age, can purchase Nooxalin kits for overdose situations without question. So just trying to make that an interesting or an acknowledgement to the county, to families, to parents, especially at this time with the coronavirus. Kids are home, they're stressed, they're using drugs, and we don't need them to die because of overdosing on an illegal substance that is going to kill them. So wanted to make that aware. You can go to opioidod.com to get more information, or druginducedhomicide.org to gain more information on the opioid problems that we're experiencing, not just here in the Yavapai County, but in the nation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, can I just add on to that before my turn? So our public facilities, including City Hall, the Recreation Center, the library, our transit buses, all have those treatment kits. So we have them readily available nearby, hopefully, if in need.
Good, thank you. Any other council members? All right, I'll just briefly report. Within the last couple of weeks, we had a GAMA meeting, which is the Greater Arizona Mayors Association meeting. Most of the Northern Arizona mayors are on that call, and one of the priorities that GAMA's taken up this year, as with last year, is some kind of reform or legislation around short-term rentals. It's really a big issue for both the city of Page, of course, city of Sedona as well. And so they're going to try to take that up again with the legislature. I know there's a couple bills proposed right now. They're going to follow those through as well. We here in Cottonwood brought up the public safety personnel retirement system bills. There's about, I think, 4 House bills, maybe 1 Senate bill that look like they might make it out. And we're watching those closely. So I brought that up too with GAMA so they can kind of keep an eye on that as well. They'd be pretty bad news for us and all the other cities in our state. And then there was a Verde Front meeting. Also, Verde Front is a collaborative, as you all know, with all the area Verde Valley cities, as well as the land management agencies like state parks and national forest. And again, this is all virtual, but our meetings used to be longer, but we're kind of shortening them down, and really it's just a good opportunity for us to just track what all the other communities are doing. There's just a lot of collaboration on that, and really happy to know that Cottonwood's really focusing on trails, as we know, of course, and then assisting with the String of Pearls concept. Cottonwood and Camp Verde have been working together to get signage that looks consistent and for trailheads and that sort of thing. So there's just a lot of good collaboration going on there. And that's all I have.
Mr. Mayor, if I could, a couple updates here. Cottonwood Fire and Medical Department has been actively supporting the vaccination process for COVID-19. Their paramedics from the staff have supported the vaccinations given by Spectrum. They've also worked with Cottonwood Oak Creek School District to help vaccinate their teachers and volunteers. So between the two entities so far, well over 2,000 people in the valley have been vaccinated, and very proud of our firefighters for stepping up and helping out when needed. Public Works wanted to let the council and community know that they received over 186 Christmas trees collected as part of their free Christmas tree disposal program that ran through the end of January. And then the Cottonwood Recreation Center has been selected as the February Facility of the Month in the Community Rec magazine. And you can go on to our web pages to take a look at that article. We pushed it out on Facebook. It was kind of neat to be honored and recognized for all the great work that team is doing over there. So Parks and Rec Department also wanted to let us know that they're working on a few programs for the next week to celebrate our community for Valentine's Day. A few programs to name is Monday is a Facebook photo frame day. Tuesday is Wald Day? Walk Day. All right, I got a misspelling here. I got to talk to someone. So Chalk Your Walk Day. So that's about chalking the sidewalks for Valentine's Day, and then we're going to run around and take pictures. Sorry, I'll let him talk about it because they're great programs for our kids who are stuck at home and our family members.
Mr. Mayor, Council. So the program Ron was referring to is it's centered on community pride to help people build that pride of Cottonwood. So on Monday, we're releasing a photo frame that's all about supporting local and loving Cottonwood that you'll all be able to add to your Facebook photos, and the city will be able to add that to their Facebook photos. Tuesday will be a Chalk Your Walk Day, where we're encouraging people to get out and draw supporting themes of Cottonwood on the sidewalks. We're working with the school districts, trying to get them out there. We're working with some local artists. I'm currently working with NHS to do one right outside the library on the walk up to the teen side of the building. Wednesday is going to be a support local, where you shop local, hashtag your local business that you like, give some feedback there and give a shout out to them. Then Thursday we're doing a community rock garden where people can paint their rocks. We'll put it out there. I'm hoping to find a spot next to our riverfront trail system, so it'll also give some of that encouragement to use that trail when it's built and have the community a part of that trail system for the history of Cottonwood. Then we're trying to come up with another one for Friday, and as soon as that one's dialed in and ready to go, we'll send that out to everybody. But that's the program we're working on next week.
Awesome. Thank you.
One more item, Mr. Mayor. Also, Ryan and Matt, I'm getting a text saying that the people viewing us at home cannot hear us. There's no sound. So just a FYI from the outside. Consultant Motley Design Group has been selected to work with us on developing revised historic design guidelines for the Old Town area using the State Historic Preservation Office grant we were approved for this past fall. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Great. Thank you. Okay, let's move on then to approval of the minutes of the Council Strategic Retreat December 10th and 11th, 2020. Minutes from the regular meeting of January 5th, 2021, the work session of January 12th, 2021, and the special meeting of January 12th, 2021.
Make a motion.
All right, and I'll second that. So all in favor?
Aye.
All right, minutes are approved. And then we go into unfinished business. We just have one item this evening, and it's ordinance number 692, authorizing Yavapai County zoning to continue in effect for the area known as the Spring Creek Ranch annexation area. And this is the second and final reading. I believe we have Mr. Ellis virtually, and hopefully he can hear us.
Yes, good morning, Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, Scott Ellis, Community Development Director. As you mentioned, this is the second and final reading of ordinance number 692 to carry over the existing Yavapai County zoning of RCU 2A for a period of 6 months for the recently annexed Spring Creek area. In the meantime, we're going to be working with the property owner for a rezone proposal from them, as well as create a 2-acre zoning district for the city. And I can answer any questions that you have, Mr. Mayor, or that the council may have.
All right, council, do we have any questions for staff? I know this is the second reading, and I know we discussed it at the last meeting, but I want to make sure there's no questions. All right, I did receive one comment from a member of the public, so I'll go ahead and read that now. And this comment is from Sherry Ratner, Miss Ratner, regarding ordinance number 692. And she wants to let us know, I am against the proposed development of Spring Creek Ranch. The land upon which Spring Creek Ranch stands is very fragile and needs to be protected from massive development, and massive development is what the Borowskis aim for. This land is very unique and cannot afford to be ravaged by massive development. It will not be workforce housing, and it will cause pollution of the air and water and ruin the quality of life for everyone here, from Cottonwood through Sedona and Oak Creek Canyon, all the way up to Flagstaff. And I'm not sure if we've received any other comments from the public on this ordinance.
Mr. Mayor, Council, I have not received anything in my office, nothing regarding this carryover of the rezone.
All right, and Ms. Jimenez, have you received anything in your office?
No, Mayor, I've received no phone calls or emails regarding this item,
Okay, and is there...
other than Ms. Ratner's.
Very good, thank you. Do we know if there's anyone on the virtual call with us that would like to comment? All right, then I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Did you want to cite the ordinance number?
Yeah, do I need to just cite the ordinance number?
Yes, please.
Okay, I move to adopt ordinance number 692, authorizing Yavapai County zoning RCU-2A-residential single-family rural to remain in effect in Spring Creek Ranch annexation area pursuant to ARS section 9-462.04.E.
Second.
All right, Vice Mayor made the motion, Councilmember Matthews seconded it. If we could have a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Henry?
Yes.
Councilmember Currat?
Yes.
Councilmember Matthews?
Yes.
Councilmember Nairn?
Yes.
Vice Mayor House?
Yes?
Mayor Linsky?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. If we could ask you to please read ordinance number 692 by title only.
Ordinance number 692, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Yavapai County, Arizona, authorizing Yavapai County zoning to continue in effect for the area known as the Spring Creek Ranch annexation area. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, next is the consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or a citizen so requests. We have 4 items tonight on the consent agenda. Item 1 is resolution number 3082, authorizing the submission of a grant proposal in connection with the Governor's Office of Highway Safety's Proposition 207 Medical Marijuana Fund Program for reducing impaired driving and dedicated traffic enforcement. Item 2 is grant and aid agreement with the Arizona State Library, Archives, and Public Records for construction of a new sidewalk at the Cottonwood Public Library. Item 3, approval of bid and award of contract to Lincoln Constructors, Inc. for site visibility improvements at the intersection of Cottonwood Street and South Willard Street and repair of the dip, the famous dip on South Willard Street. And I'm sorry, there's just 3 items, not 4. I apologize. So are there any items that a council member would like to have pooled? Anybody out there in the public that would like to have an item pooled? All right, then I would motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, Mayor made the motion, Councilmember Henry seconded it. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Any opposed? Motion's approved. And Deputy Clerk, no, excuse me, Ms. Jimenez, please read Resolution Number 3082 by title only. Ms. Jimenez, can you hear us out there? All right, I'm going to go ahead and ask our Deputy Clerk then to fill in if you can, sir, and read Resolution Number 3082 by title only.
Resolution number 3082, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Cottonwood, Yavapai County, Arizona, authorizing the submission of a grant proposal in connection with the governor's office of highway safety's proposition 207 medical marijuana fund program for reducing impaired driving and dedicated traffic enforcement. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. All right. New business. The following items are for council discussion, consideration, and possible legal action. And do we know if the audio is working yet, or?
Mr. Mayor, my text say it is.
Okay. All right. First up is under new business, retirement of K-9 Kratos from the Cottonwood Police Department and authorization to transfer him to his former handler, Commander Chris Dowell. We have Commander Dowell with us this evening, as well as Kratos, soon to be retired.
Mr. Mayor, Council. Introduce myself. I'm Chris Dowell, Commander of Patrol currently, and I've been K-9 Kratos' partner for the last year. K-9 Kratos is a Belgian Malinois. He's about 6 years old. Over the last year, he's had some great, we've had some great success as a team. He had approximately 142 narcotic deployments this last year and 61 patrol deployments. He had 2 criminal apprehensions. He had 109 drug arrest assists and 33 patrol arrest assists. During last year, we had calls for service for agencies other than Cottonwood PD, about 43 of them. Those calls for assistance came from Yavapai Apache, Police Department, YCSO, Camp Verde Marshal's Office, Homeland Security, GET'em, and PANT. So we assisted a large variety of different agencies last year, and
Commander Dowell, I hate to interrupt you, but if you could speak more directly into the mic, I'm sorry. It'd be hard for the folks out there to hear you.
life. We had some great seizures also. Last year, he had just over 50 pounds of meth seizures, 3.5 pounds of heroin, 1.5 pounds of cocaine, 1/4 pound of marijuana, 65,000 fentanyl pills, 8.5 grams of mushrooms. He assisted with $316,000 in seizures through PANT, HSI, and other associated dealings, and 295 items of paraphernalia. We're asking the council to authorize his retirement. He is not of the retirement age. We usually go a little bit longer. He's having a little bit of back issues, which is causing him some pain, and Prop 207, he again alerts to marijuana. He doesn't know if it's legal marijuana, how much marijuana, and because he does that, we could attempt to work him off of marijuana, but due to his back, his upcoming age, and the fact that we can't guarantee that he's going to ever work off of marijuana, that we just thought was a better bet to retire him. His replacement, we announced as K-9 Blue. That has changed a little bit. K-9 Defense, the vendor that we're getting the next dog from, is having some issues with the dog alerting to marijuana, and he has decided that it's better that he replace him with another dog, fresh dog. So we're going to get a different Belgian Malinois that does not have any scent odor detection, and we start February the 8th with Officer Rowdy Scott, who will be his next handler. Have any questions or anything I can answer?
No, it's one hard-working pooch, that's for sure.
He has been.
All right, any questions from council? I hate to retire such a productive dog, but I understand. And I know Prop 207 certainly throwing a monkey wrench in things as well, but we appreciate your willing to retire this fine dog, and appreciate, of course, Kratos' hard work for Cottonwood.
Thank you. The city manager almost gave you guys a live demo earlier as he ran across the floor. So you almost had a live demo.
And I don't have any protective gear on. It would have been bad. It would have been very, very bad.
That would have been a
I forgot
good
my
show,
manners.
but, yeah.
Mr. Mayor, if anybody from council or if the council as a group would like a picture with Kratos, this is the last opportunity, and we do have a camera available if so pleases. But I know we don't try not to get too close together, but if you wanted to, now would be the perfect time. Last chance.
Would you like us just to stand up here with Kratos in front? Okay. Stand up behind the tables then, and, okay. Yeah, I think you did. That's how this ends. Thank you. Thank you.
So are you ready for a motion?
Yes,
All
please.
right, I'll move to approve the retirement of Canine Kratos from the Cottonwood Police Department and to release Kratos to his former handler, Officer Dowell, subject to the execution of a liability waiver and release.
Second.
All right, Councilmember Henry made the motion with Councilmember Karat seconding that. If we could have a roll call vote, please. Ms. Jimenez?
Councilmember Henry,
Yes.
Councilmember Carrot,
Yes.
Councilmember Matthews,
Yes.
Councilmember Moran,
Yes.
Vice Mayor House,
Yes.
Mayor Alinsky.
Yes.
The motion carried.
Need to say yes once. All right. Motion carries. Thank you very much, Ms. Jimenez. And let's move on then to item 2, which is approval of the City Council strategic plan. Ron?
Mr. Mayor, thank you. So I'm going to try to share my screen, I think, Matt. There we go, Mr. Mayor. So if you guys remember, and I'm sure you do because you were there, but back in December, we had our strategic retreat. 2 days. First day was listening to the community. I heard from a ton of people in our community, a great day. And then the second day, we worked with our consultant to discuss and prioritize the strategic plan for City Council. A few weeks after, probably less than a week or less than 2 weeks after that, she sent me a draft of what she had. And then after that, I worked with our leadership team to develop what you see in front of you here tonight that we're going to go through real quick. A couple big kudos, if I could. Ryan Bigelow, our library manager, Chief Gazelle, our police chief, were 2 leads that helped me get it started, and then we're major editors to the process. Their experience played through with making sure we had a lot of action words in there and making sure the verbiage was correct and making sure that we hit all the high points. And then, of course, Laura Herrera is our graphic designer, our marketing specialist, and she put this beautiful book together. So I do appreciate that. So I'll just go through some highlights real quick. And then I'll leave it open to answer questions and see if we got it right, if we're close to what you guys wanted, or if there's things you want to add or take away, or did we just miss the boat and you're going to send me back to do it all over again. So here we go. One of the things I want to talk about is the vision. So it's in here because council approved the vision a long time ago. The reason I want to discuss it ever so briefly is council may want to consider revisiting these. This was not discussed at the retreat. I think they're timely. I think they're still relevant, but it's something that that you guys adopted about the time you adopted your mission statement. And so this council as a body has not reviewed the vision statements, but it's included in here because it has been approved by council and it's what's on our website and it's what we share. But just for a future action item, this may be something council may want to consider. And then we go through a couple neat things. So our tagline is "You're welcome here." Thank you, Tricia Lewis, our Tourism and Economic Development Director. We have our brand, the Heart of Arizona Wine Country, which I think you'll see throughout the document. And then we have our mission statement, "Inspiring a Vibrant Community," which leads city staff on a daily basis to get through that. And then we have the 5 priorities that I'll go through on each page, so I'm not repetitive, that council selected. The first is fostering sustainable growth and development. This first strategic direction is, I think, a priority. We spent a lot of time discussing this at our council meeting. Cottonwood will provide opportunities for our residents and local business to ensure the city's economic future, vitality, and diversity. Of course, the key priorities that came out of the meeting were economic development, housing, the airport, tourism, branding, workforce development, and annexation. And then we created 10 guiding principles from the council's meeting, and then staff added some strategic initiatives to be working on over the next 2 years. I just want to highlight a couple of them. I promise I'm not going to read very many, but one of the ones that is on our short wins, our quick wins that we're supposed to be working on, utilizing local financial institutions for some city reserves and savings. So this is using local banks, was a direction from council. I can tell you that our finance director had a meeting today with one of our local banks, so they are aggressively, actively working on that initiative currently. The other one that I wanted to discuss, implementing an online permitting program. Over the next few months, council will be presented with some options to move our permitting process and community development to an online version. We think that will improve customer service, cut down on red tape, make it easier for our community to do business with the city. And then I'd like to add one, council, if this is so pleases them, because I realized it wasn't on there, and that's an update to our city website. So we've been working on our Visit Cottonwood website. They've done a great job, but I think that we need to invest some resources into updating our overall city website. So if this requires a motion, if you could say as amended or as recommended, I'd like that. If it so pleases council, I'd like to add that one. And then throughout this document, you'll see references to the city's trail system. We're going to really, over the next 2 years, invest in our trails, cleaning them, maintaining them, partnering with communities, community partners to keep them going. One of the successes we had over the last couple years is the amending of our zoning ordinances. You about every 2 months, you seem to have another ordinance in front of you that we're amending. We're going to continue that process to make sure that we are business friendly and that we are responsive to infill projects or to making things work that maybe are a little off. So we're very excited about that, and I'm proud of the team. You know, the housing group that looked at redoing our structure so that we could help redo dilapidated buildings or tear them down and help folks move out that are being displaced by some of the stuff going on. So we're going to continue down that path. My wife says hi, I apologize. And then, of course, another big one is our regional, pursuing the development of a regional housing authority. So then we move on to number 2, which is ensuring our quality of life. That Cottonwood will commit resources to improve the quality of life of our community. Key priorities include parks and trails, events, awareness and education, citizen engagement, police and fire. There are 8 different guiding principles here with several strategic initiatives under that. The one I really want to mention, because it was brought up and we've already started talking to some partners, and that's develop and host a signature wine themed event. Guiding principle number 2.5, encourage volunteerism in areas of interest that are consistent with our brand. That's going to be a big push over the next couple of years. You know, the city staff, we don't have to do it all. We don't have to spend all of our money. We have partners out there that want to see great things and are willing to volunteer their time. And we plan on working hard to capture that and make sure that we're allowing opportunities for volunteerism, whether it's trails or parks, or we had a volunteer start today in our court system. So wherever it is that we can get people to help us out, I think that it helps out the community. Number 3, lead with environmental stewardship. Cottonwood will actively work to ensure the sustainability of our natural resources in a manner that promotes the diverse use and accessibility to our natural resources. Key priorities include water, land, the preservation of open space, and the preservation of our local natural habitats. And we have 5 guiding principles. Some of the big highlighted ones that I like to talk about, because we're still working on it, and that's the direct potable water reuse. Mayor, you and I spoke about this at the Inside Cottonwood the other day, but it's a long ways coming. We still got a lot of things to do, but we're moving down that path with our federal and state partners. Very excited about what lies ahead there. Number 4, improve our infrastructure. Big priority for this council. You guys have invested and directed the investment of lots of resources to do that. Cottonwood will develop, maintain, and improve the city's infrastructures. Key priorities include the wastewater treatment facility, streets and sidewalk, transit, and traffic. 5 guiding principles, including we are beginning to look at what we can do to improve Main Street. So it's a multi-year process to get any major street redone. So as we finish up Mingus and as we finish up other projects, which hopefully will be done by the end of the calendar year, Mingus, and for the sidewalk on First Street, hopefully by the end of the calendar year, we have to begin to plan for the next projects. And our Main Street is in dire need of some TLC. The other big project in here for I think the city is broadband development. So we'll continue to partner with VV Rio and other partners to do what we can to make sure that the Cottonwood has the broadband it needs to encourage stay-at-home businesses, other businesses to be able to function, and of course, school. You know, with all the kids learning from home, broadband is an important need. It's not a luxury anymore. All right, number 5, embrace financial accountability and transparency. I think anybody that's been watching for 2 years knows that should not be surprised by that one. I think we've done a lot of great things, but we continue to work on those. Cottonwood will foster a culture of transparency and fiscal responsibility that maintains a long-range perspective. Key priorities include the budget, finances, employees, and physical resources. And I think for me, and I think for the council, recruiting and retaining highly qualified employees is one of the priorities in there. And then one more. This is another one I wanted to add. So this is new. This is not in your packet if it so pleases council. I think we've talked about this. It is not possible right now, but I hope within 2 years it is. And that's obtaining, and Jack is listening. Jack, I did not check with you first, so here we go. obtaining an 80% cost recovery for the rec center. So we've talked about that a while back. Of course, with COVID and everything going on there, I can't do that now. But if it so pleases the council, I'd like to leave that on there as an objective. Again, not sure I can hit it or not, but I can't try right now. But it is on my list of things to do, or it was a year and a half ago, and we'll pick that back up after COVID. And with that, Mr. Mayor, I'm available to answer questions.
All right. Any questions, council, for Ron on this? Comments? How do we feel about those two items, throwing a little money at the city's website to keep that updated and trying to obtain 80% cost recovery on the rec center? Does that seem like a good fit?
I think on the 80% on the rec center might be a bridge too far. I'm not opposed to seeking that goal with the understanding that not obtaining that goal is not a deficit to the city or to the Parks and Rec individuals.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, absolutely. So these are goals that we'd like to put in there, and if we don't push the goals, we don't know what we can achieve. We were headed in a direction that I thought was right, and then COVID changed everything. So I don't know. We have to start over. Once membership is allowed to come back. One of the things we've got to bring back to council is the price structuring, the membership fees. We looked at it about a year and a half ago now. So we got to relook at that to make sure that that's right. I can tell you that staffing is about as I don't see any more staffing cuts to the rec center. We have Mark and the building maintenance crew have done great things to reduce the cost of utilities. They've improved our HVAC. I can tell you that Jack and team just fixed the radio system. We have parts of the rec center that never had sound now has sound. So between Jack and Mark and the whole crews, they're really looking from top to bottom to make sure that everything's working as it's supposed to be and as efficiently as possible. I know out at the pool, and we can still add some specialized pumps that will help lower the cost instead of the pumps running the whole time. So there's still other opportunities to reduce operating expenses. So I know that it's a high goal. But I'd rather start there than have a lower expectation. And then I'll report back to council on this goal, probably not until after COVID, not until after we have some semblance of membership. I can tell you membership, I go there about 5:15 every morning. And for the last, I'd probably say 3 weeks, membership is picking back up. People are coming back, very excited about that. If you see the reports we get, the monthly reports from Jack, the membership has started to tick back up, and I think that will continue. I think once COVID is passed, we'll start to see our silver sneakers and those other programs come back. That group hasn't come out as much. That's a great revenue. It says it's impossible yet.
So it's a really great document. I mean, it looks good. It's comprehensive. And it's specific enough to be able to work off of. I mean, from our rough hammering it out through sending it to staff and all those levels, it came out really well. It's a great job to everybody that worked on that. I agree with the website. Anytime I look into go somewhere, think about going somewhere, I want to go look at their website and have them draw me in. So I think that's a great idea. 80% cost recovery is a great goal. You set a pretty high bar before COVID, and I think you nailed it pretty well. So everybody there has done a great job on that. And if we don't make 80, we don't make 80, but we're going to try.
All right. Well, I want to echo what Councilmember Matthews said. The document is sharp, and I really appreciate that. It's a document that can be shared with the public. It looks good. I think it really has set the bar really high. So I don't know how you're going to do better next year, but I expect you will.
We'll find a way, Mr. Mayor. Council, thank you. On behalf of Ryan, who's probably watching online, and Chief Gazelle, couldn't have done it without their guidance and input, and Laura's eye, and even John, just so you know, our IT director, and had some comments on the pictures. It was just a real great team. Oh, Marianne, she's probably going to get mad at me. I hope she's listening. Marianne had some artistic input, and so I appreciated that. She helped clean it up a little bit. But we're very excited about this document and moving forward. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I know it's a team effort to make it look as good as it does, but I also really want to thank council because this is our document that we came up with together, and it's a document that I'm proud of. I think we set a lot of really good goals, and I'm just really pleased that we could come together and come up with this plan and, welcome our new council members and get some work done on behalf of our community. So thank you. So if there's nothing else, then I would go ahead and move to approve the council's strategic plan as amended to include additional funding strategies around our city's website, as well as the lofty goal of 80% cost recovery for the rec center.
Second.
All right, Mayor made the motion and the Vice Mayor seconded it. If we could have a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Henry,
Yes.
Councilmember Currat,
Yes.
Councilmember Matthews,
Yes.
Councilmember Moran,
Yes.
Vice Mayor House,
Yes.
Mayor Linsky.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. All right, last item tonight is a consideration and possible approval of one of two proposed letters of intent received for the purchase of the city-owned building located at 816 North Main Street. And we want to provide a notice of possible executive session as well. The council may convene into executive session to discuss this matter pursuant to Arizona Revised Statutes 38-431.03A7, discussion or consultations with designated representatives of the public body in order to consider its position and instruct its representatives regarding negotiations for the purchase, sale, or lease of real property. Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we're here to answer questions. We did get a proposal late yesterday, so if a citizen hasn't looked at the agenda, we did repost it online in all the required locations. But we have two proposals. Rick, our representative, is on the line. And then if it pleases council, we can discuss the ins or the outs or what council wants to do in executive session as we debate or as you guys debate how you want to move forward. But they're both great proposals. I think they both add value to our community in Old Town. But Rick, if you want to say anything or talk briefly about the proposals.
Oh, can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, yeah, this has been a lot of fun working on this project, and we've been very specific that we need things that are going to really help Old Town in these buildings, in this building, for example, and not just to sell it to somebody who wants to buy it as a rental property, which might have a user that does not provide any special benefits to Old Town. So we have two very good proposals here, and I'm looking forward to hearing the principals of these proposals tell a little bit about what they want to do and give you a feeling for this. I think they both will be very beneficial to Old Town, so whichever one you decide you prefer, perhaps we can accomplish something tonight.
All right, very good. I do believe we have both proposers on the line this evening. And I apologize, I don't know exactly who's on from Team Horizonte, if it's Mr. Ziegler or Mr. Schnurch. Are either of you on the call? And would you like to tell us a little bit more about your proposal, please?
Yes, actually, I'm with the Arizona group, and my partner is named Ziegler. And we have a proposal. Thank you very much. Within a few weeks that we've been aware of this place,
If we can have you just pause for a second, sir, we're having some background noise. We're going to have you start over here in just a second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Somebody on the call is playing patty cake, I think.
If the people who aren't actually presenting at the moment would please turn off their mics, that would help.
All right, sir, take it away. Thank you for pausing.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
City Council?
We can hear you fine. Thanks.
Okay. Well, thank you for reviewing our proposal. We've owned the Hideaway House in Sedona now for about 7 years and been in the restaurant business our entire lives. We've been looking at an opportunity to grow into Cottonwood. It's a real high energy restaurant entertainment space that we've been looking at for years. We've only been aware of this building for sale for just a few weeks, so I apologize for being a little rushed in our proposal, but we're excited to talk to the city and to get involved in the community. We all live locally. I live in Phoenix, partner lives in Sedona, and we're interested in taking that city finance building and turning it into a really fun restaurant for Main Street. We want to make it fit into the community, both visually and financially. The restaurant we have in Sedona employs about 65 people right now at various wages from $20,000 a week, a little over minimum wage, all the way up to, $100,000 a year for some of our managers. So we've opened as a group, partnership group, Greg Ziegler and I, 12 or 13 restaurants. So we're experienced and we're local, and we want to keep the money generated and the tax revenues locally as well. And I'm open for questions. I'm sure you have many, but
all right, thank you, sir. In reviewing your proposal, it looks like you'd like to take the north side of that building and put in an outdoor patio. Is that correct?
That is correct. We've operated restaurants without patios in the past, and in Arizona, especially the climate that we have in northern Arizona, outside dining, and then with COVID on top of that, just seems to be pretty important. I don't think we could make a successful restaurant without some outside dining in that space.
And did you have any plans for the sidewalk for the frontage as well?
We didn't really have any major plans for that front sidewalk. We would like to, just because it views more like a Main Street, kind of what Tavern has done, with just a few tables out on the sidewalk, just because it's fun and it's very Main Street USA, but it wouldn't overly impact our seating capacity with just eight seats out front. But it would be nice. It just brings energy to a sidewalk. It brings fun to the street, so it doesn't look like you're driving by a bunch of closed buildings.
Very good. Any other questions from council? One last question, sir. I'm sure you're aware that there's a local landmark that's been applied to that building. Does that pose any concerns to you?
It does not, in that I just don't know what the local landmark, what that involves as far as exterior design or interior remodeling.
Yeah, and
so we can work around a lot of that. I'm unaware of what we're allowed to do.
Yeah, there would be no restrictions on the inside of the building, and really the outside. The commission had reviewed it some years back, and I believe you were on the commission at that time, were you, Councilmember Matthews? We looked at it. Has historical significance, so the commission looked at the original architectural design of it and had some suggestions for landscaping and that sort of thing. But there's no major restrictions placed on that building at all. I just wanted to make you aware and see if there was any concerns that you had about that.
No, I mean, our intentions at this preliminary stage would be to make it fit right into Main Street. We're not going to do anything ultra modern. It's going to be very Arizona and very cowboy and very, very old town, and very inviting and fun. We just wanted to make it fun for the community and fun for tourists and visitors.
All right. Very good. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. And I believe we have Mr. Lavore as well on the line. Is that correct? Are you with us virtually, sir? And you're representing the other proposer? And Mr. Lavore, if you're out there, we're trying to get you ready here. You may need to unmute yourself. Mr. Lavore, are you out there, sir? We're ready to hear from you.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated.
My guess is that wasn't him.
No, I don't think so.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, is this Ms. Learman?
Yes, it is. Don't know what's happening with that. He is online. I can see that. Let me just try to get in. It's not working. And Dave can't get in. Well, you want me to talk about it?
If you're able to speak on the project, that would be great. Now is your opportunity. And
Okay.
And if
So
he can jump on at any point, he can just unmute himself and butt right in. But for now, if you can speak to the project,
Okay.
that'd be great.
okay. So I don't know how to begin other than it would. It's under the company called Merkin Vineyards Incorporated. We have a tasting room down the street, tasting room. Yeah. We are looking to use that building as a retail outlet, and then also a little office space very back. Basically, and possibly selling our yogurt, our gelato there. So unfortunately, Maynard and Dave are both trying to get, Matt and Dave are trying to get online, and they're the ones that put all this together with Mr. Keenan, and I wasn't involved in that. So I don't know. You can take our letter of intent and go from there.
Certainly, yeah. We've reviewed the proposal that was given in our packet, so we have the letter of intent. We have your proposal as well. This was just an opportunity for you all to kind of speak a little bit more about your project. So we'll have a discussion here. If Mr. Lavore can jump on at any moment, he's more than welcome to. I think he may just need to unmute himself and try to hop on. So I know we're all experiencing technical difficulties today for sure, but we're doing the best we can here. So thanks for pinch hitting though, Ms. Learman. We appreciate it.
It wasn't great, but all right.
All right, council, any discussion?
One quick question, maybe Rick can answer it or not. I noticed on one proposal, the buyer's being represented by a real estate broker. Is there any chance Rick is representing both sides on the Merkin thing?
Rick, you're not representing the second buyer, right?
Well, actually, I started out with, excuse me, I started out with Dave Schurch. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right. Dave Schnurch project, working together with him directly, and I think he may have brought in another broker after there was some discussion about that I might be representing the city, and which could possibly be to his disadvantage. So he suggested another broker. I don't know how critical that is to him, because basically I've been working with him directly, and it would save the city about $6,000 in commission if I wind up representing both sides. I'm willing to do that. I actually do that a lot in my work, but I'm going to let David decide how he wants to do that. And as far as with Maynard goes with his proposal, I'm actually working with both sides on that one at this point. And I did mention in my initial proposal to the city that if I did get to work with both parties, that I would reduce the commission from 6% to 5%. So that's what's involved in this subject.
Well, thank you. So you knew exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
All right, any other discussion, council?
I think other than that, I mean, maybe you're getting to that going into executive session. So I would move to go into executive session to discuss.
Second.
All right, Councilmember Matthews made the motion with Councilmember Karat seconding it, and all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, then we are going to jump into executive session. So we're going to, I think, cut everyone off, and we'll reconvene after council meets, and I don't suspect it'll take us more than probably 20, 30 minutes tops. We'll jump back into regular session and continue our discussion. Thank you.